And I wasn't going to watch it until you messaged me and was like, yeah, Attack on Titan. I'm like, what? Okay, hold on. It can't be that good. And it's not.
And it's not.
But this fourth season is by far the worst.
Oh my. Yeah, all shit's hitting the fan.
From how?
From how? I get what you're saying. I mean, I agree with you on a lot of the actual storytelling elements, but I'm still enjoying it just from a visual. The fight scenes are cool. I
agree. Yes, the fight scenes are the best in anime today, or that anime has ever seen in the past 50 years.
Yeah.
Usually you would only see animation quality like this in a big budget movie, but it looks great. Whenever Levi, like I said, whenever Levi does anything, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like he moves. He is poetry in motion. From how do you like it?
I'm a visual person. I think I've talked about how in a lot of these other podcasts we've done, how I can be turned away from a show just if it looks bad. Even if the story writing's amazing, I can't get past the ugliness.
So wait, are you saying that that's all that's keeping you attached to this show?
No, I mean, I felt surprised by a lot of the stuff. Kind of like, what? What the fuck? That's how that happened? Oh my god. Like, I was genuinely surprised. And
that's okay. Like what? Give me some examples. I want to hear specifics.
Okay, I was shook when I learned that there were Marley and Mies. The Marley and Mies were literally just turning Eldians into Titans, and those were the Titans that were attacking the original. They say Paradise, right? Parody. Well, I want to say Paradise.
Tell you what a parody is. I'll show you a parody.
Oh, anyway, I was
genuinely... Have they done I think they've done a porn parody of Tacky Titties. They should have called it Tacky Titties.
Tacky Titties. God. Anywho, I was shocked, but I didn't, because I hadn't been reading the manga at all.
Yeah.
So I was like, that surprised me. I was like, what? I was truly convinced that, the people in the wall were the last humans, and they were just fighting these Titans. I didn't expect the show to explain the Titans. I kind of didn't think it was going to do that. I was like, I just accept that Titans exist and for the sake of the show.
Right.
So they that really surprised me. And then to go even further, the Marley and Mies are at war with, other countries in the world, and literally Parody is just like annexed from the world.
Right.
Because everyone's scared of it. I was like, damn, okay, I didn't expect the world to be that big. I really thought it was just the walls,
Well, so I thought that, like Earth was the size of Earth, right? But yeah, all of humanity had been secluded into just the walls.
Yeah.
Because like Titans had taken over the whole world.
Yes, that's what I didn't expect the show to have more. I really didn't. I was like, this is it. And
that's to be expected, because the show kind of tells you in the beginning, like, this is the last bastion of humanity, and we have to defeat the Titans. The show tells you to believe that, so there's no reason to not believe it. But once they got to the part where it turned out that the walls were lined with Titans, there were Titans in the walls.
Yeah.
Then, it was obvious that there was some conspiracy stuff going on. My prediction at that point was the government of what's the city called again? I forget what the city's called. No. It has a name.
It sure does.
We're just gonna call it Parody, I guess.
Parody, yeah. Why can't nope, can't remember.
The voice of this founding Titan reached out to touch the people's hearts and altered their memories forever.
You have all these walls. You got Wall Rose, Wall Maria, Wall George.
No, it's not George. But the third daughter name is stranger than the first two, because they're named after the original Ymir's three daughters.
Yeah, I'm not looking that up, but whatever.
Okay.
Someone can correct me in the comments. I don't care.
Yeah.
There's no reason to believe that there's any other humans, but it's very obvious from the beginning that all of the Titans on the planet used to be human. In the beginning, they make you think, oh, well, the Titans just sprang up out of nowhere, and they're humanoid. They look like humans, but they're not actually. But then, well, they look too much like humans. If they looked like a weird ass freaky creature, like with tentacles or some shit, that would make more sense, and that would be a bigger shock than having them look as normal as they do, because they're freaky in how big they are, and especially like Grisha's ex-wife.
Fuck,
that was a huge reveal.
Yes, right? Dina Fritz.
Dina Dinosaur.
Sure.
Dina Fritz.
Dina Fritz, yeah.
Yeah, so she eats Aaron's mom.
Yes, she sure does.
That was psycho. I was like, what? How did she survive that long?
Fucking. Well, she is royalty. I mean, she's got the royal blood.
Okay, wait, so Titans are immortal? Or I guess maybe not, but I guess it had only been like 5 years. No, it had been 12 years. Aaron's mom got eaten when he was like, what, 12?
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, it hadn't been that long, and then other Ymir, like Historia's Ymir, she said she had been a Titan for like, what, she said 40 years?
Oh, okay. All right. Oh.
Remember?
No, I don't remember that.
What?
No, because she's another pointless character. What Titan was that? Like the ugly-ass Titan?
Yeah, the little one.
The midget Titan?
What was it called?
How could I forget? In all that time.
The jaw. Yeah. No, it wasn't the jaw Titan, was it?
Not the jaw. It's a freaky-ass, ugly,
the tiny,
beady-eyed
Yeah,
Titan.
she was tiny. She, like, didn't use her Titan at all. Anyway... Yeah, she said she was like wandering for like 40 years or something wild that. Maybe longer than that.
Who did she eat?
So, you know, Reiner and Bertolt and Annie, they came with that other guy.
Oh, right.
She was sleeping in the ground because she like gave up on life. And then she like just was like, I think I'll wake up. And they happened to be right there and she just said, yum, and ate him. And then she got the power,
Wow. Okay, that's right. I remember now. Okay, I did see that.
And that's why they almost turned back.
I remember.
Which made more sense.
Yeah, but then Reiner was like, oh, we can't turn back.
I need to prove myself because I'm worthless.
They'll kill us.
Herp derp.
Yeah, essentially, that's what happened. So, all right, what were we talking about? We just went on a huge tangent. Show sucks.
Oh, we were talking about the city. Oh, you were asking me why I like it, and I said, I was talking about, like, I genuinely am surprised by, like, the plot development.
Yeah, there's interesting stuff going around. Like when they show Marley and Me and how it's like 1900s era Germany, because it's essentially just Nazi Germany, right?
Yes.
And so then that's when you find out like the show is actually about Jewish zombie Gundams.
Yeah.
And the whole time you've been watching a show about Jewish zombie Gundams, and everybody within the walls, they're all the Jewish people, and if you know, and so the Jewish people that are still in Nazi Germany, they have to wear the armbands, like the Juden stars that the Jews had to wear.
Juden. I'm Juden, you know? Juden.
And the world hates them for some reason, but
the world blames them for
the Titans, I guess.
Yeah,
because technically it is their fault.
I mean,
but also not really.
It's not their fault. It's Ymir, but also yeah.
It's like their fault, but it's not their fault.
It's not really their fault
why?
at all.
I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense. You know, here's what I don't understand is they've never once tried to see what would happen if they injected Titan serum into a Marleyan.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know, because so far we only know that an Eldian will turn into a Titan, but what happens if you inject...
I think they did make a comment about that, because Eldians are the descendants of Ymir, so they all are connected to her, so they can utilize that Titan power, but basic humans don't have that, so I don't think anything happens to them.
I don't remember that. When did they say that? I need a citation.
I don't know. I don't know if they said it, but that feels like the consensus.
I hope that by the end we'll find out. Like somebody pricks himself with the syringe or something, and they find out like, oh no, and maybe...
I don't think anything would happen though, based on the lore.
What if something has to happen?
It's just spinal fluid. If I inject you with cat spinal fluid, nothing happens. get sick.
Yeah, but nobody on the planet is going to turn into a cat if they're injected with cat spinal fluid.
No one has magical cat ancestry.
Yeah,
but if they did, then maybe.
Well, I think based on what I've seen so far, especially like Aaron's speech before he eats Tiber, you know, and he says that he's the same as Reiner and all that. I think what they're eventually alluding to is that there's no difference between the Marleyans and the Eldians.
No. They're still
human, and so if they get injected with Titan fluid, or Titan spinal fluid, whatever you want to call it, Titan juice, titty juice.
Stop it. No, it doesn't work.
Yeah, so if they get injected with titty milk, then they also become Titans.
I'm not acknowledging
because why wouldn't the parasite be contained in the spinal fluid?
I guess that's true. I don't know.
It's a virus. Let's call it what it is. It's a zombie virus. It's the T virus from Resident Evil. And the Titans they're just giant zombies. That's all they are.
Yeah, fair enough.
And there's special Gundam zombies that you can pilot, and they're Jewish.
Stop.
That's what it is. That's just what the show is telling you what it is.
I know. It's less fun when you call them zombie Gundam Jews.
Since he does us in these zombie Jewish Gundams.
Stop. All right. So, anywho, well, maybe we'll get your fantasy and they'll inject a Marley in.
It's not my fantasy. I don't. Yeah, but they should do that. We should find out. Because think about it, right? Okay, so it's been 1820 years. No, it's been almost 19. How old is Aaron now?
I know that Levi's 42 or something. So.
What?
He's in his 40s. Or no, he's 38 or something. He's old.
Damn.
I know.
Is he doing what? He does Pilates? Like, damn,
it's all that blood. Cause you know, a vampire facial. He gets them all the time.
Are they saying Jews are vampires? That's messed up.
No, those are real. Vampire facials are a real thing people get, and it's where you get like plasma on your face.
Yeah, that's fucking disgusting.
And it's supposed to make you look younger. So anyway, that's what I was making a reference at. Is he's always covered in blood, so he's getting those vampire facials for free all the time.
Well, check this out, right?
I'm checking.
Okay, it's been
1 week. Stop. I love that song.
I think Aaron's about 20, which means when Grisha, he received the Attack Titan from the Owl. It was 20 years. It's 20 years after that, so that means it's 1840 years since Ymir got the parasite. In 1800 years, that's plenty of time, and everybody says that, the subjects of Ymir forced the Marleyans to bear their children, which is weird. I don't know why you would do that.
Mixing.
There's a ton of genetic mixing going on, so after 1800 years, I want to say everybody could potentially have some Eldian DNA. Think about how much did the population grow in the past 1800 years?
Oh, a lot.
From a small portion of people.
Yeah.
And how many people, that statistic you hear that like 1 in 6 males on the planet is related to Genghis Khan?
No, I haven't heard that.
Well, yeah, it's a thing. Like, they trace the DNA and they're like, well, a significant portion of the male DNA on the planet traces back to Mongolia.
Holy moly.
Yeah, because Genghis Khan was, he had that giant empire and he was
getting it.
If the Ymirians or Eldians, they have so many names, the subjects of Ymir,
yeah.
If they really were forcing people to bear their children, then you have all kinds of genetic drift going on.
Maybe they will address it.
Oh, you know who we know for a fact does not have any Eldian DNA, like 100%? Onyankopon.
Who? Onyan?
The one black guy in the entire show.
Onyankopon. Who is that?
Exactly. Because there's been exactly one black guy in the entire show, and then...
You're right. Okay, I didn't know his name. Had they said his name?
Yeah, it's Onyankopon.
Holy shit. Yeah, he was part of that. Okay, so who the fuck is that blonde chick?
I have no idea. The tall boy-looking dude?
Yeah, masculine woman.
With the fake beard?
Yes, with the fake beard. Her. Who the fuck is she? And also, the young component.
She was in... No, he's from another nation or something.
He's
like a prince. He's a Nigerian prince who has a bunch of diamonds waiting for you.
Yeah,
if you just send him $500.
Yeah, he doesn't have any Eldian blood whatsoever.
No, he couldn't possibly. But, yeah, he's like immune. So...
She's not...
She came with the invading force, and then she defected.
I feel like she's not explained.
No, she was. But that's the biggest problem. Here's the reason why the 4th season is the worst by far, is that they do flashbacks after flashbacks after flashbacks. God. They do flashbacks within flashbacks.
Yes, they do, and it's so confusing.
They do a flashback during a flashback.
They sure do. Yes. Okay, I was so confused. I think the first episode, I was just like, what year is this?
What year is it?
When is this in the timeline? And then once I saw Aaron, I was like...
Because it starts off, the season 4 starts off with after a 5-year time skip.
Yes.
Aaron's got his hair all down. He's infiltrated Marley and Me Empire.
Yes.
And
what's his face? The failure.
Reiner. The failure.
Reiner's there, and they're like, "Oh, he's been so depressed these last 4 years," and I was like, "Oh, that's when this is." Okay. Yeah, and then we see Aaron, and then they go back into his childhood, and I'm like, when is this? Who is that? Yeah. Whose brothers? Who? Are you related? I don't know. I can't tell. Yes,
terrible.
It does, and it did that. Didn't it do that this last episode on Sunday?
Yeah, it did. It's like it did a flashback. It started off...
It's so confusing.
I have no idea what year it is, and then it's like 1 year before.
When? 1 year before
prior.
what?
Yeah, it's like, where are we? And you have to judge the years based on Mikasa's hair.
Yes. Okay, maybe that's why they do it. And Aaron's hair. That's honestly the only reason I knew that scene had happened in the past was because Aaron's hair was shorter. That's how I know what time it is. I'm like, oh, what length is Aaron's hair?
Remember Mikasa's bed hair?
Oh my god.
She actually looked good like that. It's like, you're rocking that look, girl. You should keep that.
Yeah, but like, Levi doesn't age. He's no help. Or you can tell, a little bit if Hanji has an eye patch. You're like, okay, this was before the time. You're right. The newest season is just, I feel like I have whiplash.
Yeah.
Whiplash and indigestion.
Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. Yay, Pepto-Bismol!
Yeah, so the one thing you should never do is a flashback within a flashback.
Before a flashback, after a flashback, and then somehow, I don't even know if they ended on the current time. In the most recent episode.
Connie keeps shaving his head. And so he gets like a kind of a short buzz cut. And it's like, so his hair has grown like a little bit, but he still shaved it. And it's like, I appreciate the fact that people's hair does change, because in a lot of anime, people will have the same exact haircut for 40 years. No. And you're like, nobody in history has the same haircut for that length of time. But the problem is that with anime, it's made so cheap because everybody has the same face, and you're only able to differentiate them by their hair.
The hair-eye color combo.
Yeah, right. So, But anyway, so after Aaron and the Scouts, that's their band name. Yeah, we are Aaron and the Scouts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Since he does this, San Diego. So after they destroy the Marley and Me Empire, and they take the blimp back home, then Gabby.
Fuck Gabby. Useless character. Unnecessary.
She kills the fat guy.
No, she kills Potato Girl. What are you talking about?
No. In order to get onto the airship, she has to kill the fat guy.
Oh yeah, she just shoots him.
And it's like, why did you bring a fat guy to an invasion?
Listen, they needed people. Also, no, I have a thing. Why didn't she get shot? Why didn't she die before this point, honestly, is my biggest problem. She was just standing around, like everyone around her was getting shot, except for her.
Well, she's just a survivor.
Yeah, but she didn't survive because she did anything special. She just survived because people were like, I guess I won't shoot the kid holding a shotgun. And I'm like, yes, you would have. Yes, you would have. You would have shot her.
No, without a doubt. But that's another one of those things where it's like, oh, we just need this plot point to happen, so we're going to do something completely unnatural and illogical to make it happen.
That whole scene, like, now that you point out, it's like so unnatural. They wouldn't have just stood there and let her shoot Sasha.
Right. Yeah, throw something at her.
Anything.
Yell or drop to the ground. But the fact that they left the door open as they're flying away,
Yes.
like, that's the stupidest shit. Because what, they were waiting for the fat guy to try and hoist himself
and
up?
so how could they miss him? Yeah, because they were like, didn't he come up? And they're like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, you wouldn't not miss that guy. You would know if he's here. And also,
You would notice the one fat guy.
yeah, also, it was annoying because they addressed it. They said, hey, isn't he, like, where is he? And then they look at the door and they go, huh? And I'm like, no, you guys are trained soldiers. You wouldn't just wouldn't do that. Like, after all these years, and especially with Sasha having that intense, like, sense of smell and hearing that has been addressed several times.
I'm glad you said it. Because after that happened and that little girl snuck onto the ship and she shot Sasha. That's a tongue twister right there.
Sasha.
She shot Sasha. She shot Sasha. She shot Sasha. She shot Sasha.
Shasha.
Stop with the cha, Shug.
She did the cha-cha real smooth.
Let's go to work.
She did the cha-cha real smooth, and I felt nothing.
Because it was just like, we need something to happen. Kill her.
Yeah, we need to kill an important character.
Bam.
And they set it up before that, because then when Connie says to her, like, oh, you're my best friend.
You're my family.
I love that you like potatoes or something.
Yeah.
It's like that was a foreshadowing. It's like, oh, we're not going to see Sasha ever again because Sasha sells seashells by the seashore. And now she's sleeping with the fishes. Sha-sha-sha-sha.
Ha-cha-cha.
So, yeah, I was like, fuck Sasha. Like, I'm not gonna care about this character that you designed to die.
I'm sad she died, but how she died was not realistic in the show.
But the whole show is like that. That's why I hate it. Because it's like every single moment is like, you're trying to manipulate me to care for these characters that they're not doing their job, which is to not suck. And all they do is suck. It's like their job is to suck. And I'm like, why would I care about characters that they don't even care about their own well-being? So why should I?
Otaku no Mix.